Nah! So close. Come on, come on, come on. Give me a second. Dang it. I was so close. Why are you being like that? Okay. Give me a second. Stream interrupted. Sorry guys, give me a second here. What should I do? That's annoying. Having a little technical difficulties. I thought I had it so perfect today. Give me a second. Just give me a second. I'll let you see lovely Shimokitazawa while I'm figuring this out. Okay. Here. This is what I'm working with. You see, that's my little monitor so that I can use this camera. Yeah. Okay, I think we're okay. It's official. We're going. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Vox Pop here on the streets of Shimokitazawa. I'm right outside Shimokitazawa station. I've already seen a few record collectors pass by. It's 8:15. You know, it takes a little bit of finesse to get this just right. It's really but we're gonna just go for it, and maybe we'll strike out again. We've had a couple of shutouts, not exactly no hitters, but we've had a couple of shutouts. こんばんは。いいですか？ごめんなさい。ちょっとうるさい外人。すいません。音楽どうなんかスタイルはすごいおしゃれ。are you なんかミュージシャンとか？この YouTube チャンネルはミュージックの 今 YouTube やってて。ライブ。頑張ります。すいません。ダサいけど。もしディスキューニとかタワーレコードとか HMV とかレコードバーグ見たら教えてください。レコードばっかり買ったの人は探します。レコード好きですか？好きだけど今はまだな。これから。OK。もしあったらなんかインタビューしたい。はい。頑張りたい。Okay. So there's some cool looking dudes sitting next to me, and I just wanted to give them a little shout out. Okay, so yeah, it's Sunday night, and I just had to run down to Shimokitazawa. I thought I really wanted to. I busted out my Sigma guitar today, and I rarely play it. I have a Yamaha classical guitar, and I have a Fender Squier Mustang. That's the limit of my guitar stuff. But I also have a interesting. It's called like a DH28. It's not a D28. It's not a Martin D28, but it's a DH28. It's a Sigma, which is I think like Martin's Epiphone, and it's a real nice guitar. And I got strings to replace it today. The strings were so old they were almost like rusty, and so I brought some. But I was missing a peg, not a tuning peg, but what do we call these? Like a pin, a bridge pin. And I checked to see in Shimokitazawa what time does the guitar shop close, and they close at 8. And I dashed down there and I got in just in time and I made it. And I walked in. I said, "Hey, I need some bridge pins," and they're like, "Oh, we don't sell those." I'm like there's 100 acoustic guitars in there. I'm like, there's literally like 1,000 of these things inside the shop. You don't have one pin around anywhere? No, sorry, we don't have a single one. So we're gonna chalk it up as a lost cause here. And I had my backpack anyway, and I thought if lightning struck, I would come and do a little impromptu Vox Pop here on the streets of Shimokitazawa. Now, Vox Pop is you already know this, but if you're new here, it's, and I doubt you are, but it's my man on the street opportunity to chat people up who just scored some records or maybe talk to them about music. And Vox, I've been doing this for, meeting people on the streets for many, many years. It's actually been I've done this kind of work rather than like interviewing people in this kind of capacity where I'm talking to them about music. I've done it with photography. I've basically set up these street studios, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. So yeah, so there's this little window of opportunity to do it, to try to get all the time zones. I could do it in the middle of the day, but if I do it in the middle of the day, a lot of you are going to be asleep. So if I can just catch some of the record stores like right when they close and people come to the station, then there's this little window of time that I can catch you and finish work. Usually I'm doing this on a weekday. And yeah, it can all come together. And it's come together kind of nicely just a few times, but yeah, we're gonna get better at it. I see some friends in the house. Ninja Cat Matt's in the house. I saw Don Tron, kind of Snap Record. Yeah, a little bit of Snap Record. Hey, James Farley in the house. What's up, dude? Nice to see you. Yornimer, I'm back for it. This is actually the second time I'm streaming today. I had the opportunity to stream this morning, and I was talking motorcycles and talking combustion engines, and I escaped let the heat cool down a little bit, and then I spent the afternoon working on my motorcycle and took it all apart and put it all back together, and I got really dirty, and my fingernails got filled with oil and grease, but I scrubbed up real good, and yes, the bike is running much and sounding much, much better. I changed the exhaust, basically. I completely changed the exhaust system. And it just fits a million times better, and it sounds a million times better. And whoever thought it was clever to just remove a few parts off the bike before I got it, tisk, tisk, tisk. But anyway, that project got done. Got a few chores around the house done. Actually, like in Japan, there's a couple of interesting sort of things that this sort of like neighborhood duty. Somebody will know the word. I don't really know. I forget what I don't even know if I've ever really known it. It's called like, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's the neighborhood duty basically is what it is. And every day some people take turns like cleaning up the street basically. And every day, especially the older generation, you'll see them out there sweeping and just cleaning up the street every day of like leaves, of like maybe a cigarette butt if somebody threw one, or leaves. And that's why the streets are really clean, is because people like wake up before you or I do, and they sweep up the streets. And us younger generation, we're kind of lazy about it, and sadly it's going to be a tradition that gets a little bit lost. And I do it, but I only do it when I do it. And our office, bless them, we work in an international office, and even though we're not really a Japanese company per se, we do incorporate it into our neighborhood duty. It's not really obliged, and there's nobody like keeping tabs, but it's just something that you do. And there might be somebody in your neighborhood who you coordinate with. I don't really know, but so today I cleaned up my street. I cleaned up my street, and a funny thing happened. I cleaned the gutters out up and down the street, and the gutter grates are like really heavy, and I had my little trick tool, and I pulled the thing up, and I was kind of cleaning it out, and the guy whose house I was doing it in front of, he walked out of the door right as I was like, it almost seemed like I was like looking in his trash kind of. And he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just cleaning up. I'm just doing the neighborhood duty. I noticed it was dirty. I'm cleaning it up. And he was like, I'm like, really, honestly, but The other thing that I was going to mention is that, and forgive me for just like kind of looking all over the place. I'm talking and I'm streaming. I'm looking for record people here, so forgive me for not being right here with you. I am here, and I'm going to get to all the comments, but I am just in my peripheral vision looking for some guitar, or excuse me, some record cases. We may find one, we may not. Record shopping bags. I should bust out my "Show Me Your Record" sign. Actually, I think I'll do that. The other thing that people do is like like Japanese real estate. It's not really built to last. Japanese real estate famously. Here's my sign. Show me your records. Or talk to me about music. And James Farley is on a campaign to get balloons, but we don't have any balloons yet. But I don't think the balloons is a bad idea. I think it's actually not a bad idea. Hey, let me see here. 4D's in the house. Hold on, let's see here. Yo, what up, Holmes? 6:17 a.m. for football. Okay, match going on between Arsenal and Liverpool. I don't know what COYG means. Yornimer in the house. Window of Opportunity would be a good video title for something. Could be. Wait, sure. Window of Opportunity is great. Like, good name for a band, maybe. Good name for an album. 519. Not 555. Ninja Cat Matt. Got some people waving on stream. Zen in the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Who's the author? Oh, did you score some records? Did you score some music? Yeah. You want to talk about music? No, okay, all right. He's got a Tower Records bag. We're talking about music. He's curious. I nearly got him. It's like fishing. We're out here fishing. That one got off the line. What's the deal with the girls wearing the Frankenstein boots? Sorry, I missed them. Was there some Frankenstein boots? I didn't see. What are Frankenstein boots? Like big furry kind of boots? Sort of like Halloween-y kind of boots? Record collecting is deeply embedded cultural practice in Japan. I would say so. Yeah, it kind of is. I think so. It's, yeah, I should actually dive into like the history of record culture, like the deep history. Like who made the first turntable in Japan? Surely like Victor became a Japanese company, but I believe Victor was Dutch, and the Japanese bought it in the 70s or something. But yeah, who built the first turntables? Who built the first phonographs and Victrolas in Japan? Maybe one of you guys can look it up for me. What I mean is big platform shoes. Oh, the big platform shoes. Frankenstein. Yes, I got it now. Oh, it's a thing. It's a thing that people are into these days. It's like, I don't know, give yourself a couple extra inches. I don't know. Cheating a little bit, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea. Good morning, dude. That's from Nashville, Tennessee. What's up, dude? Oh, dude, I listened to Riff yesterday. Listened to it from beginning to end, dude. So happy. So blissed out. Light blue wax, dark blue wax. I didn't realize it was still in the shrink, dude. Still brand new, not even open, dude. That's a very big thank you. Fish's 1993 release Rift. I got it on wax, highly, highly coveted. Care of Dude Ass Face in Tennessee. Sub Dude Ass Face. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I thought I saw some records there. Okay. The other thing that I was going to say is part of the like neighborhood obligation. It's not exactly neighborhood obligation, but it's a thing that they do here to sort of beautify the neighborhoods. The thing about home ownership in Japan is like real estate is the land that you put your home on is extremely valuable, or you build a building on, and sometimes it takes decades even to secure big patches of land. In fact, this very area where I'm standing right now has been like trying to be acquired by companies for like 50 years. And they've bought sections of it. And anyway, uh, and then the buildings that end up going up on this property doesn't like survive the way that it does in the West. And not they don't build buildings here. I mean, you know, I've already in just the 20 years that I've been here, I have seen big, giant 15-story buildings go up and come down in that short amount of time. So the buildings are built with not disposable materials, but it's more ephemeral. And there's this notion of the 72 microseasons. I'm not going to go too far off the rails here, but you build homes that are in harmony kind of with the environment. And maybe when I say that, I'm meaning for it to imply that, you know, homes aren't really meant to last. They're meant to sort of, yeah, be ephemeral like the seasons. But I don't know if that might be a very modern sort of consumeristic, you know, throwaway fast architecture sort of culture. And maybe if you go back to, you know, couple hundred years, maybe things were meant to last a lot longer. However, having said that, the highest shrine, the highest, most holy place in all of Japan is a place in Mie Prefecture called Issei Jingu. And Issei Jingu is where the mirror, where Amaterasu Omikami saw her reflection and where she was led out of the sun goddess of Japanese mythology, where she saw her reflection. The mirror in which she saw her reflection is inside. It is the holy relic, of antiquity here in Japan. And they move it. They've got interestingly, they have like two properties, two patches of land, and they build this like beautiful, what is it, like hinoki? They build this special, what is it, like special elm tree? Not elm tree, pine tree, but sugi, or anyway, with some kind of hardwood, but needly tree, and it's bright blonde wood, and in 20 years time, or even less maybe, it's like, it might even be like every 2 years. Whatever it is, it seems ridiculous. They build this shrine up, they tear it down, and they build a replica of it on the property next to it. And then while that one's being built, the other one's being torn down, and a new one's being built, and they're constantly just going between. It's like Dog Star, you know. It's like these two. So maybe there is this notion of like obsolescence built into structures in Japan. I don't know what the reasoning there would be, but maybe it's like a constant. I should read up about it. But why I mention that is because I'm talking about like home ownership and family obligation and then cleaning up the neighborhood. And while I was cleaning up my street, my next door neighbor has got this. A crew has come in, and they put scaffolding all around their home. And every 10 years, the house gets painted like on a schedule. And it's a thing that Japanese people do every 10 years you hire a company that comes in. I don't actually know what it costs. We're past the 10-year marker. It's sort of like servicing a watch, you know. You're meant to do it every 10 years, but not everybody does it every 10 years. But if you're a good homeowner, then you do repaint and sort of pressure wash and your home every day, and that's going on next door. So we have a little dead end street. It's getting. I did my part to beautify it today. That's all I really want to say. But I did make a mess of it. My motorcycle parts were strewn out all over the place, and yeah. So that was today's task. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Richard Vinyl's Tap House says, are CDs a huge seller in Japan? I would say so. In fact, I would say Japan, folks seem to have small living spaces. I would say that Japan is very much part of keeping the like global CD industry healthy and vibrant, I'm guessing, or at least as healthy as it is in this generation, long past its prime. But CDs are a very big thing in Japan. I would say there is a giant section of the music industry that has nothing to do with vinyl records, and the artists that like don't put records on, and don't stream either, and they're all in their own little ecosystem, and they create a lot of marketing opportunities and business opportunities through like a limited supply, and the CDs are a big part of that. And if you go to like Tower Records, everybody knows about Tower Records, and they want to go see all 8 floors of Tower Records, like 6 or 7 of the 8 floors are CDs. And it's like CDs from the West, CDs like J-pop CDs, and then it's like all these like boy and girl bands that are like the idol groups. That is a big thing, not just in Japan, but in Asia. It's like an Asian culture thing. All the idol bands, all the boy bands, it's all CDs. It's not, vinyl is like not part of the thing. And what could be the thought about that? I don't even know. This just popped into my head. But maybe like they don't want their, I'm just spitballing here, but maybe like they don't want their fans and their loyal customers to be wasting money on CDs when they have, or excuse me, on vinyl records when they have the T-shirt and the keychain and the tickets and the fan club and the thing and the thing and the thing and the thing. And there's just like so many chances that they have to get the money from the fans. Maybe like, I don't know, like just that idea just popped into my head. But these guys are like super clever about managing these acts. And yeah, so CDs are very much a thing in Japan. And there's lots of used CDs, and used CDs are still cheap. I have a feeling they're not going to be cheap for much longer. I can already see on Yahoo auctions and online, I can see the price going tick, 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 tick. But if you go to any book off, there is a huge, and not just book offs, but like the independent stores, there's huge sections of 300 yen CDs, which is like $2, and then there's huge sections of 500 yen CDs, and then there's also like expensive CDs. There's like, what does a new CD cost these days? 1,400 yen, something like that. Okay, now I'm getting a little bit nervous that we've maybe missed the window to catch somebody, unfortunately. Let's see what you guys are saying. Thanks for that question. I think that was Richard. Ninja Cat Matt says, looking for people who are looking for records, random audio files, a haiku, BG Ninja Cat. Nice. Looking for people who are looking for records, random audio files. I like it. Nice haiku poem there. Sea Fury 10 in the house. Evening, Brian. Still hot in Tokyo? Yes. I did have a shower tonight before I left, and now I'm probably gonna I ought to take another shower when I get home. But I was so dirty from doing the motorcycle stuff that are so sweaty, and yeah, I was greasy, just filthy actually. And so I already had a shower, but it's sticky, but it's nice. When you're out on the bike, it's nice. It's like, it's cooling down. Like, but I say that, but we just had like it kind of broke, and then it was hot as hell today. It was super hot. Oh, bye. I see. Okay, bye, Ninja Cat Matt. Gotcha. Your haiku. Downtown Tokyo is the most valuable real estate on planet Earth. Interesting. That's interesting. I wonder what downtown would be. There's about 28 downtowns in Tokyo. I don't even know if there is like a real, what would we consider the real downtown? Is it Asakusa? I think Ginza is more valuable than Asakusa. Let's see here. Maybe people think that Godzilla is coming back. Maybe people think that Godzilla is coming back, or they only build, okay, and they only build temporarily. Could be. I mean, there is something to be said about that, although I will say that, the Tokyo is like the big one's coming soon, they say, and Mount Fuji is like, it's there, you can see it. But if you get on tall enough building, it's right there. It's far, but it's so huge. You have to understand, like Mount Fuji's 3,000 meters. What is that? 9,000 feet, 10,000 feet? It's not that tall compared to, you know, the tallest mountains in your part of the world, the Swiss Alps or the Himalaya or the Rocky Mountains, but it's sea level to 3,000. The vertical gain is 3,000 meters. So it's enormous. It's super, super huge. And I think that was records. Hold on a second. Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay. So it's an active volcano, and they say it's going to blow at some point. I don't know when I don't think the last Fuji eruption was in like human lifetime. It's been hundreds of thousands of years. I don't think there's any record of it ever even, but the seismic activity under it is very carefully measured. But what I was going to get at is that when the tsunami came in 2011, there was a lot of debate on how to protect from the next tsunami, and a lot of the seaboard cities debated like putting these giant, what do they call them, giant walls basically up to prevent another disaster. But to put a giant wall up with all the tetrahedron things and to make it all safe, like, negates the beauty of living at the sea. And so there's a heated debate that goes on about to build or not to build these walls, because if you don't, which is to say, it's like living with that disaster, whether it be tsunamis, volcanoes, or Godzilla. It is part of life in Japan. Let's see here. Okay, a lot of comments in parentheses I see here. Maybe people think, okay, I read that one. Gravity and Father Time defeated. Sorry if I'm behind here. Okay, Ninja Cat 40's got a lot of comments for Ninja Cat Matt. Okay, notice that 40's putting his comments in parentheses, which are a cue to me as the host, or to any host, to just go past those comments, because they don't pertain exactly to the conversation or to the topic that we're talking about. But anyway, so it's 8:30 p.m. there. What time do record stores close? 8 o'clock. So, and Richard's Vinyl Tap House. Where in the world are you? Chicago? Are you? No, you're not. You're not that Richard. You're not Calvin Wazoo Richard. Where are you in the world, Richard's Vinyl Tap House? So yeah, there's a little window of opportunity again. I should call these window of opportunity. Oh, are those records? No. Okay. I gotta be on the lookout here. Let me see let me just kind of get let's see if we can. Yeah, so they closed at 8. They closed 45 minutes ago. I really got to come up with a plan. But it works sometimes. It works. I think 7:30, 7:20, but just like it's hard to get down here at 7:20. Maybe that's the move, like 1 hour earlier. But I haven't completely struck out. It's just like, I guess it's like a low batting average kind of thing. Millions per square feet, I've read. Yeah, I think they even, the most expensive property in Japan, they count it in terms of postage stamps. It's like this much is like, 100 grand or 10 grand or whatever it is. It's these little tiny patches. Let's see here. Prehistory, last big Fuji eruption. I think so, yes. Mother, should I build the wall? Yeah. Mother. What's that? I love the song off that. What's that other song, the Mother song on there? He's talking to Mother. What's the other one on there? I'm trying to think of what it is. How's it go? The space in it. Oh, I need to fix my vision. Maybe I can't. This is driving me crazy. Pulling the glasses on and off. No mere wall is a match for Godzilla. I'm in Denver. Okay, Richard. Yes. Okay. So Denver, yeah, pretty inactive, I think, geologically. I mean, in terms of like geologic disaster. What could you have in Colorado? I mean, floods, fires, yeah. But yeah, earthquakes, maybe not so much. Yormer says, is there natural onsens in the city of Tokyo? Yes, there are, Yormer. Or do you have to go really outside the city? No, actually, you can find onsens. They have like, there's a distinction between, hold on, I know there are onsens in Tokyo, but do they have real volcanic spring water? Yes. And they make the distinction when you go in. And you don't really care so much, but you do care. And there happens to be one that's quite famous that's right by my house called Utsukushi no Yu. And I see people coming from all over Tokyo to go to this particular one. They have some sulfur, something brown mineral in the water that smells a little, it's not sulfur, but it's something else. But people come for its, healing properties. And yeah, there's others. But the kind of the distinction, one of the distinctions between the word like sento and onsen. Sento is a public bath, and typically that's like they've got a furnace in there boiling hot water that's keeping those baths really hot. But that's not to say that all sentos, some of them don't have onsui, that means like hot spring water, or that some of the super sentos, they call them, which are sort of like swimming pools and public pools. I mean, there's kind of like all these different varieties, and some of them do and some of them don't. And when you go into the places, you can kind of like ask them they might have some signage that explains about them. By the way, I'm at like 50% of my phone here. So that I know that when I'm doing a 2.5 hour, 3 hour stream, I go from like 100 to 25, which means that if I only have 50% on here, I may go black at some point. It may happen. Oh, there's 16 of you guys hanging out. I appreciate you guys being here. Hey guys, hit the like button. I would most appreciate it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd really appreciate that as well. I've got a newsletter coming out. I mentioned it this morning. I'm working on it. I just got it started, but like just getting it started is kind of the hardest part. It's generally just a recap of like all the content that I'm putting out. It's a collation of all the contents, all the posts that I put on all the different places. And not all of it ends up on YouTube. So there's a lot more to Tokyo Record Style besides just the YouTube channel. So go to the homepage, which is tokyo.record.style, or go to, or send me a message at tokyorecordstyle@gmail.com, or go to tokyorecordstyle.com. Just like search Tokyo Record Style, look for newsletter sign up, and you can find a newsletter sign up, or leave a comment on one of my videos and say, I'm interested, what's your Instagram? Go follow me on Instagram, send me an Instagram text that says, here's my address, sign me up. And I will sign you up. And I'm gonna start thinking about ways that I can leverage that newsletter. Because I really like, I forgot how much I kind of like doing that newsletter. And in fact, I think what stopped me from doing my it stopped temporarily was this. I got distracted by YouTube. And I also my venue where I host my events, like the guy who ran the place left the company, and that meant that my awesome hometown place where I run these top 5 events, it was no longer the new guy like isn't too keen on us being there. And I saw another place, I think actually, where was it, in Shibuya. I really want to do it here. I wish this guy would he's not returning my emails. And I've stopped in there and I'm just like, I cannot get a gauge on the guy. I'm like, so is it a yes or a no? He said, let me give you I'll send you a message. And I'm like, can you just tell me right now? And he's like, yeah, I understand what you want to do. I'm like, I know, but like, is it okay? And I'm just like reading the room and he's like, I'll wait for your message. And then he doesn't reply to me and I send him 10 more texts. I'm like, yo, I want to have an event. When can we do our next event? And he's ghosting me. And I don't know if it's what. I'm writing to him in English and Japanese, and it's the perfect place, and I love having events there. But when I couldn't announce and recap my events in my newsletter, flash disk ranch? No, kyo no flash disk ranch nanka gata? Just straight up ignored me. He had a flash disk ranch bag which is a really cool record shop here. Interestingly, Flash Disc Ranch has like a, I almost hesitate to bring it up because I kind of like, you've seen, I don't know the names of these acts, but you've seen like, there's like, I almost don't even want to call it blackface, but they do blackface in Japan. There's a whole band, I forget their name, one of you guys will know it. It's like a doo-wop band, and they do like R&B and Motown and doo-wop, and they're very kitschy, but it's not really. I don't want to say it's coming from a misinformed place, but maybe it is, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But Japanese generally don't really see it that way, and like you'll see this every once in a while. You'll see on like Japanese TV or like on YouTube, like a clip from Japanese TV of like somebody coming out and like doing Louis Armstrong and like, you know, like really leaning into it with a total blackface, and you're just like, it's so weird, right? Why did I bring that up? Lost my train of thought there. I've lost my train of thought a couple of times on these live streams, and then I go back and I rewatch them, and I see the topic that I was talking about before I lost my train of thought. I'm like, oh, I remembered it, and I'm like, oh, but it's too late. The live stream already passed, and I can't do it anymore. Why was I talking about blackface? What was the question? There was a question, I think, or there was some topic. I completely lost it. Oh, the newsletter couldn't host the events. Why was I talking about that? I completely lost it. Yeah, something to do with the newsletter. Sorry about that. Let's see. A lot of comments. Appreciate you guys being here. Ninja Cat Matt. Oh, it was in. Let's see. Okay, it was, and he misread. Multitasking ain't your thing, Brian. What did I misread? Okay, it was, and he misread. Forgive me, guys. Mirror wall should be undefeated, time and gravity. What did I do? Should be undefeated, time and gravity. Should be undefeated, time and gravity, undefeated. Got it. What did I do? Was that the one? Did I say something wrong there? Art is in the eye of the beholder. I'm going back. I'm looking for it. I don't see it. I'm gonna keep going ahead. Sorry, guys. It's hard. It's a lot of things. Your brain's going. You know, you're trying to get all the things set up. You're scanning for records. I'm like, the cops are here, but I'm doing my best. And yes, I am multitasking like a mofo right now. So yeah, again, like happy to have you guys here. If you're first time being here, please get all connected. I'm on Facebook. If you want to go follow Tokyo Record Style on Facebook, if you want to follow my personal page, send me a request or whatever. Colorado has wildfires, blizzards, yeah, floods and tornadoes, drought, minor earthquakes. Minor earthquakes, okay, yeah. Oklahoma has like earthquakes. Suddenly they got like, you know, they've pulled up so much oil out of that part of the world that now they've got that fracking, the fracking earthquakes, which is terrible. Okay, more. Let's see here. You're missing a few guitar bags back there, says James. Okay, yeah, it's another shutout maybe. Something about the venue. Joni Mitchell, I don't know what you guys are saying. Did I miss something? Forgive me. I wish I could, yeah. One flood in the last 100 years, 2013. You know, I mentioned this beloved 1974 Campmobile that I had, a Transporter Type 2 Volkswagen hippie bus. Basically, I had an orange one for about 15 years. And that big flood that was in Lyons, the guy who bought my my bus, bless his heart, such a good guy, amazing human being. And I feel so guilty saying such things, but when my old van, which was like my heart, and I hated selling it, but I was so happy it went to a good home. I had some fucked up Schadenfreude when I found out that bus was like a casualty of those floods. After all of my heart went out to everybody, and after we tried to get the Photo Hoku project there, it didn't really happen. I shouldn't even admit that really on screen, but yeah, those terrible floods. I was connected to that through friends, many friends who were in Lyons, who lost homes. It was super sad tragedy. And my friend lost his van, my old van, which was a bummer. Yeah, and that was like a once in 100-year kind of deal. Yeah, exactly. Once in a last 100-year kind of flood. I only just joined Ed Topo. Join the stream here. Thanks for being here, Ed Topo. Join the newsletter, Tokyo Record Style newsletter. Sign up. Just go search around for it. It's out there. You said defeated the first time. No biggie. Okay. Oh, undefeated. Gotcha. Okay. Joni is my favorite female artist ever. I was having a little debate about, I was saying one of my more recent Tokyo Record Style posts, I was talking about my friend Christina, and I was saying that she has a really beautiful voice, but it's not like Joni Mitchell, Linda Ronstadt, or Stevie Nicks. It's more like Billie Holiday, Patsy Cline, or Astrud Gilberto. She has this most sultry voice, which I don't think Joni has a particularly sultry voice. She's got a wonderful voice, but I don't know if I'd call it sultry. Although I am occasionally feeling, I'm smitten on Joni from time to time when I see her out there. She's amazing. What a babe, What a babe. Uh-oh, it looks like I might be frozen. Uh-oh. Okay, no, I'm okay. Let's see here. You should go to Little Soul Cafe in Shimokitazawa, says Yamaguchi Yutaka. Yeah, I should. I know the place, and I've been there a couple times. Bars are not really my thing. I'm a little barred out. Just spent a lot of years in bars, and that place is just always packed, and I don't drink, and it's just like, I'm more of a cafe kind of guy, although they have nice, offerings of all kind, not just sort of bar offerings. I should go there. It's a Little Soul Cafe is a Shimokita institution. If you want to come and like spin some records and get like tapped into a really cool scene, Little Soul Cafe is a really cool place. And on Ichibangai, where Little Soul Cafe is also not far from there, is Never Never Land, where I cut my teeth kind of spinning records for many, many years. And up the road is Upstairs Records on Ichibangai on number 1 Street in Shimokitazawa. And then a little bit further up the road is, what's the other place called? Record Station. Really cool kind of place. They got kind of like little hip hop centric records. Not all hip hop, but a bunch of sort of hip hop-ish records. And then up all the way to the top of Ichibangai and around the corner is Hummingbird Records, which is really cool. A lot of great record stores in Shimokitazawa. Yamaguchi-san, are you here in Shimokitazawa? You should come hang out. Come hang out if you're around here. We had one friend who came out and hung out with us a couple of streams ago. It was really fun. Ed Topo says, Ninja Cat Matt, love her too, Joni. Okay, we're still talking about. She's getting grief on her Don Juan's reckless daughter photos. Oh no, I don't know about that. I love Joni's impersonation of Bob Dylan. You seen that interview? She does she lampoons Dylan pretty hard. It's pretty funny. I didn't make a character like Bob. I could make a character, but I'm my real, I'm my real self. It's pretty funny. They quit dumping into fault at Rocky Flat. Yeah, the Rocky Flats. Okay, they got all that toxic waste out there. Yeah, there's a bunch of like military stuff going on in Colorado that's not good. I'm in haiku mode. This could go on for hours. Thanks to Ninja Cat Matt. Happily, ballpoint pen box was delivered this very minute, 2 minutes ago. Wonderful. Congratulations on the new ballpoint pen. Joni's songwriting is what puts her above the rest. Yeah, amazing. Brian was reading Tokyo Record Style photo post, and I think I saw you used to go clubbing in Tokyo. Yes. To a club named Yellow. Yeah, I'm go back to the Yellow days. Yellow was fun. Yellow was good days. If you Yellow's a little tiny bit of a bragging right. I was. It's like saying, you saw The Dead with Jerry or something like that. I did go to Yellow back in the days. It closed. I probably only got 3 or 4 nights in at Yellow before it closed, and the cops were sort of like on. It was sort of, there was a lot of illicit stuff going on. The whole town wanted it to be closed, but it was a legendary place. Yeah, I went to Yellow, Ageha, Unit, Womb. Womb was kind of like the place to go. Um, Air, Unit. I said Unit. Club Asia. I mean, lots of places, lots of dancing until 5 in the morning, lots of after parties until noon, lots of like walking out into the sunlight, being like, oh my god, what do we do next? Lots of like sleeping until and like doing it all over again the next night. It was rather debaucherous days, um, but good times indeed. How do you know Yellow, Yornum, or did you ever go to Yellow? Um, Again, about Joni here, she's literally a musical genius. I totally agree. Linda Ronstadt, for her voice and yeah, her looks, hubba hubba, yeah, all lovely ladies. And yeah, Joni, I recommend going to watch the I don't know, 4D might know, the Isle of Skye, the Isle of Wight festival in like 1970, 1973, 4. I don't even know when it was, but it was like, there's an amazing documentary about Joni Mitchell and her commandeering the attention of the audience at that stage. And wow, she just steals the show. She's amazing, amazing. If you haven't seen that, I don't know where I saw it, but it's not that old. It's pretty good. Just to watch Joni come out on stage and do her thing. She really wields the audience. Amazing charisma. Yes, there's a video article waiting to be made by someone about conversational lyrics. Joni Mitchell and Paul Simon would be top of the tree, and Dylan. Yeah, I love Renee and Margaret, and then Renee Magritte and his dog after the war, that one. And I love She Was an Old Lover on the Center, Still Crazy After. I love that one. I love the one, Two Traveling Companions Lost in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains of New Mexico. I love that story that Paul Simon weaves. Let's see here. Don Chun Tan says, I've seen a lot of cool vinyl coffees on Instagram. Yeah, that's kind of a thing that's happening right now, right? The club, the cafes are like giving way to the clubs, actually. Like it's in like morning, it's like coffee DJing. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm hosting this. My event is Sunday afternoons. It's like a Sunday afternoon thing. It's like family friendly. Brian, do you have a really good grasp on language? Do you write poetry? Wow, that's a nice question. On language, do I have a really good grasp on language? I would say no. It's not nearly what I wish it was. I need to read more and be more verbose, and I wish I could. I wish I had. But you mean Japanese language? Japanese language, I'm pretty hacky, but I get by. I mean, I have like street language. Do you write poetry in Japanese? No, no. In fact, I would say Japanese. The tenets of Japanese poetry are not anything really beyond the tenets of Western poetry. Even though I'm really talking out my ass here, but I would say that when we think about haiku, we think only really about the pentameter, or the meter of the poem. That's 575, and then there's also 575, 775, or something like that. There's a couple of different versions of it, right? And it's like but we don't love Shakespeare because of the, help me out here, iambic pentameter, the soliloquies. We don't like, that's not why we love Shakespeare. We love Shakespeare because that rhythm is what gives, it's the musicality of the dialogue and the exposition and I don't know, whatever of Shakespeare on the whole is turns it into music. And I don't even know. I've studied and forgot about it a bunch of times, but like really the essence of the haiku has less to do with the meter. And it's also like we think about haiku in terms of like syllables, but in Japanese it's not about syllables. It's about kanjis. It's about characters. And so the only way that we can kind of like contextualize that in English is to like think about syllables. And it's less about, again, like it's less about syllables and more about, I mean, like I'm just sitting here looking at this like kanji. I mean, there's like, you know, it's more about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not so much about syllables as much as it is about these characters. And then there's something to haiku that I'm not going to be able to explain, but it's always like something is here. It's a 3-act play. It's a little thing that sits on itself. Haiku does. It's like there's act 1, there's act 2, and then there's act 3. I don't know what exactly it is, but it's like something is, something happens, something is, or something like that. That's the essence of haiku. And so no, I am not. That's like, listen to me hack away at haiku. Forgive me. But yes, to the question, do I have a good grasp on poetry or language? No. I wish I did. I have dabbled, and I journaled for many years, and I write, and I love to write. And I consider myself a writer, a bad writer, but I write like because I have to. I write because wow, there's an ambulance coming in here. I write because I write for fun. Like I don't just write for so much of what I write never sees the light of day. I'll write letters to people. I'll write email responses, and then I won't send them. Somebody will send me a message. Oh, there is a ambulance coming here. It could get a little noisy. It's coming right here. I bet it's coming to the station too. Here, we can watch it together. It's rather loud. Can you guys hear it? They often say through, hope you don't mind, please forgive us. Sorry to be a nuisance. We're coming through here. And thank you so much. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Thank you so much. It's quite polite. Okay, there's been a lot. Okay, are we going to get a single one? I'm like there's too much action going on here in the chat for me to like be on the lookout for record store, but I think we missed the chance maybe. Good afternoon from Scotland. Peter McCartney in the house. Nice to see you here, dude. Wonderful. Ninja Cat Matt says, Simon and Dylan, America's 2 best songwriters, in my humble opinion. Lyrics that you drop out of singing to say and then skip back into singing. Yeah, I love that too. Integrating the conversation line into the song. Yes, I do enjoy that too. 4D. Let's see here. Yormer, did you ever go to clubs in Roppongi? Yes, but not the clubs that you're thinking of. There was a club in Roppongi that I'm very deeply connected to. And it's not like some big secret, but it's like another world that I'm in that I just, yeah. And it's a really amazing place. It's based on like Cabaret Voltaire, I think Cabaret Voltaire. No, that's not the one. Is that the one? The Swiss one. Cafe Voltaire, maybe. In Swiss. It's like this. It was this very interesting club, very avant-garde, crazy, cool club, which had like club stuff and also had like really amazing, cool stuff. I'll just I'll leave it at that. But like what were the like Velfare and maybe I went, yeah, I probably went to a bunch of clubs in Roppongi, but they're a little not. This is not to I don't like little bit like if you wanted to, I don't know what my impression of clubbing was like the agehas and the, or excuse me, the like the wombs and the yellows and the units and the airs and the secret clubs that only existed for like one night were the real deal. And the Velfares and the, you know, what was the other one? Like the Roppongi ones were a little bit like, but I could be wrong. But the Roppongi ones had like a reputation for being like, for the, you know, I don't know, for a different market, I should say. But I probably don't have that exactly right. And there were probably lots of great clubs in Roppongi. Let's see here. I saw The Dead with Jerry 54 times. Well done. Am I really far behind on the comments? That says 57. Okay, I'm pretty far behind. I saw The Dead with Jerry maybe 10 times, 8, 12 times. I forgot. I think I should know. I think it was like 10 times. I'm going to say 10. Ever see The Wicker Man? Oh, 40. You guys are talking to each other. Do you love John Lee Hooker's music? Yeah, I love John Lee Hooker. I can't say I know it backwards and forwards, and I haven't listened to it in some years, but I have a few John Lee Hooker records. And yeah, that's inspiring me to go dig into my blues records. I have a great core memory that's like deeply connected to the blues that I probably ought to save it for a video. I'm having trouble actually at the moment, like firing up the videos. The live streaming is like dead easy, but I have about 3 videos that are like in the pipeline and I can't bring myself to make them for some reason. Like I'm avoiding them. I saw some other comments here. Thanks for the question. Do you like John Lee Hooker, Don Tran? I want to know why do you ask that? Are you a big fan? Tell me something I should go check out, like by John Lee Hooker. And you know, I don't know really about the man. I mean, I know that he kind of was like, you know, he was sort of a, how to say? I know that he was like relevant late in the blues, if you will, or sort of like early in rock and roll, or he was like part of he contributed to the '60s, you know. And there was a handful of Muddy Waters. I mean, he had, you know, he goes back far, but he also continues far into it, right? Didn't Dylan play with, who did he play with? Leadbelly. Who did I just say? Muddy Waters. Oh, not Muddy, yeah, well, maybe I meant Leadbelly. Muddy Waters too, for that matter. Yornimer says, wanted to go to Yellow because of a lot of artists I followed at the time mentioned they DJ'd there. Yeah, wanted to go there, never ended up going. Had a friend that stated she liked dancing there circa 99, 2000. Yeah, Yellow was like, I think is Yellow in Lost in Translation? Yellow might be in Lost in Translation. That might be the club. They might be like when they meet Charlie Brown. I think they're in Yellow. I think they're not downstairs in the like dance hall, but they're upstairs at the bar, and that's where they're hanging out. Yeah, Yellow is cool. I saw what's his name? Nizhan. I saw the dude, the Mr. Fruits guy, and and that's not his main claim to fame. What is his name? Oh, I'm embarrassed. What the fuck is his name? The guy who like consulted Sofia Coppola, like best buddies with Wes Anderson. Somebody look it up. Again, Japanese influencer, sunglasses. Always wear sunglasses around the clock. And I think he was involved with he was involved in a magazine that I should know about. I don't think it was Fruits, but it might have been Fruits. But I saw him the other day, and I've worked with him a couple of times, but I haven't really had a whole lot of conversations with him. And the few times that I've had a conversation, he's been kind of not rude, but he's just been like short with me because like everybody like wants a piece of him. And but he's out there. He's not that. But I saw him yesterday, and he's when I think of the tastemakers of that moment in Tokyo, he's definitely one of them. He's got a couple years on me, not that many, but oh, there's records. すいません、今日レコード買ったレコード。今日ちょっと今ライブストリームやってるレコードの話はどうあまり興味ない ?Okay. Okay. I was close. I was very close. Well, it was kind of like one guy's carrying a lamp that he's like scored at like a recycle shop. She had records. They should have said yes. Come on, guys. They should have said yes. I did my best. I did my part. Is that one? I think I saw another record, but she had like a general store, but that wasn't general store records. What is that? No, it's like a bookstore or something. General is no longer in Shimokitazawa. Let's see here. Oh no, the mic keeps cutting in and out, says Ed Topo. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry. 4D says, tell me if the mic is cutting out. It looks okay. I don't know. Maybe it cuts in and out. I'm not sure if it's bad. Let me know. Yes, Japanese haiku rules don't work in English because Japanese has many inflections which Japanese doesn't have, right? English can't translate Japanese nuances without more words, I think. Yeah, I think you're basically right there. And that's basically what I was trying to say. I never write anything down except for chatting on YouTube and Discord. Says Ninja Cat Matt. The dangling conversation. Simons. Okay, I'm not sure I know about that. Let's see here. Stunty's in the house. What's up? Brian with the club flex. Yes. I can't say I'm like all that proud of those days. I kind of had come into that. Yeah, I did have a big moment where dancing and the house party was like, I was trying to kind of like get out of my, like, I was trying to get out. I was like running. I was on the lam from like fish and from the dead. And like, I just needed like get out of like Boulder and all the attachments of like a hippie town. And because like I am 50% a hippie, but I'm also 50%, 25% punk and 25% etc. And I pride myself on those labels. So yeah, anyway, that little part of my musical appreciation, I was a little bit lost, a little bit like fish out of water, but just going to dance and just to be part of the house nation and just, getting my groove on as hard as I could. Okay, Nick Cage, what are we guys talking about? Just ordered Seventh Nurse with Wound record today. Oh God, one of my records, my daughter came back with some records from the States that I had like ordered to my folks' house, and there was a record missing, and the order says that it was in the box when it was shipped to my folks' house. Uh-oh. I'm getting laggy here. And one of the records was gone, and I think she might have missed it, unfortunately, but it's okay, no biggie, it happens. But yeah, one record I ordered probably ended up in the trash or in the recycling. Hopefully somebody found it somewhere. Mic sound is okay. Okay, good. Mic is okay on my end. Okay, good evening. Good effort, Brian. Ninja came out near interview. Yes. Okay, you're getting 17 syllables in. Okay. Speaking of avant-garde-ish, do you ever see Australian-Japanese Tokyo dance music band called the Triple Nipples? Interesting name for a band. I love it. They are frequently played in the Roppongi area. Man, I'm such a lazy ass about shows. I'm such a broke ass about shows. I don't mean to complain about. I do fine, but I just got kids and a lot of obligations. Concerts, it's like I gotta pick concerts or records, basically, is the deal. And, you know, I should choose concerts, but it ends up being records. Fetish properties, right? So there you go. That's kind of where I'm at. Well, I have a feeling that I'm running low on juice here. I can't see my battery levels on the camera. So I think we're about there. I'll give it another little bit and let's just see if we can get one person. Oh, he's got an Oasis shirt on. Should we talk to him? I don't know. He doesn't. He's on a mission from God. Oh, we were so close on the one. We were so close on the one. She just stared at me like, no. Oh, they're pretty cute. Oh, I wimped out. 2 guitar bags going over my shoulder here. I wimped out. I should have, yeah, Ninja Cat Matt says, I've chosen concerts. Yeah, not a bad choice. Records, I feel like, you know, so long as I don't like die before I figure out what to do with them, maybe they'll partly pay off in the end, I wonder. Even if I have to like just go set up on the street like I'm right here right now and just like records for sale and sell them, you know, like on the streets, or join record fairs, or like I can at least recoup some costs on them. But yeah, the concert is a good choice. You know, you got the memory, you got the experience. It's not a bad, here, I'll show you guys this. The ambulance got their guy, and they've got 2 guys here who are backing the traffic out, and they say, alright, 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 and they wave the guys out so that they're okay in reverse. And before they get back into the ambulance and take off. Hope everybody's okay. Sunday night. It was a crapshoot. We tried. Max, I see you new. Max, forgive me if you've talked about this, but in the past, could you tell us about your Hugo setup, hi-fi setup? I have a pretty lame hi-fi setup. It's half of it's like awesome, and half of it's kind of like I have a pair of Kef LF50s. Is that right? LF50? Why? Yeah, LF50s. The Kef LF50s. Suddenly it doesn't sound right. LS50s. LS50s. And I have and they're powered speakers. And then I have a pair of Wharfdale Diamond 10.1s on another system. And then I just have like a nice little Bose computer situation that has one of those subs. It's like one of those, what do they call them? Like it's like the 5 speaker thing with the subs, or 3 speakers with the sub. And so I actually use the sub. I use them kind of. It's all hodgepodge together, but not in an unthought out way. But I basically have 2 turntables, a mixer. I have it's called a Cambridge Solo phono preamp. I have a little tube amp that I can either bypass by way of a channel selector and go directly to the speakers, or I can run my analog signal to either a DAC. I have like kind of a wet line and a dry line. I can run it, and it's all wired crazy, and like I can run it through a DAC and then into the other DAC that's on the speaker system, which makes no sense. But it's like a hat on a hat. Or I can run it through a tube and then run it to the DAC, or I can send it to my Wharfdales. And and I went to Kef and I asked them, like, guys, tell me that the RCA inputs, which are on the first version of the Kef LS50s, please tell me they bypass the DAC. Please tell me those are like analog shortcuts. And they're like, nope, everything goes through the DAC. And I said, oh, okay, so you can't get like a clean analog signal path on this speaker. And so I said, oh, okay, well then that means I've got a hat on a hat. And they were like, no, that's cool. You're doing it. That's interesting. And so long as it sounds good, tinker with it all you want. That's cool. So I've got one of those little cheap, tube amps that we have for our speakers. Little, what do they call it? Like a, what's the word? I forget. I don't really super know well about it. I know I've learned it, but it's, what do they call it? It's a hybrid. It's got like, it's like analog in, or like one amplification's digital and one amplification's analog. It's like input output or something. I forget what it is, but I've learned about it and forgot about it. But it's it's a hybrid little tube amp, and I couldn't tell you much about the specs of it, but I tube roll on it, and I bought a bunch of different tubes over the years, and then I have an SMSL Sanskrit DAC, which has some chips in it that burned down in that factory, and they're like highly coveted chips. So I have that, and I have a couple of Technics 1200s, and then I have kind of a shitty mixer that has probably some shitty preamp in it that I sometimes use, and I'm like, what's the it's the music stupid. I'm kind of a very much it's the music stupid kind of guy, but I like to have some nice stuff. So that's my setup. It's kind of like all over the place. It's kind of like within my budget, and I have a couple of Technics 1200s. I'm proud of those. What are you guys talking about? Tell me about your guys' hi-fi systems. Probably the Oasis guy taken away. Yeah, he just walked away. He was going somewhere. Like thousands that live on cassettes. Like my thousands of live cassettes. Okay, you've got a live cassette situation. Hi there. What's your name?
Ocha.
Ocha-san. Where you're Japanese?
35.
35. And what do you guys, 友達と一緒になんか遊びます Just playing in Tokyo. You guys are なんか dokusei. Are you? Dokusei. You guys are dokusei. I know. This is a live stream on YouTube. Live stream on YouTube やってる. And we are talking about music. You guys 音楽好きですか? You like music?
アニメソング大好き。
You like anime music. Okay, who's your I have Radwimps なんか君の名はの LP 持って。それ最近はすごい大人気になった。高くなった。バイノは5000円で買って、けど今3万円でもし売る君の名はの Radwimp soundtrack. Who's your favorite anime soundtrack? アニメのなんか OST original soundtrack は一番おすすめは？
サウンドトラックおすすめ。デジモンです。デジモン。デジタルモンスター。
Digital Monster. Okay. All right, mina karimasu. Okay, you guys are going. All right. Bye, guys. Yeah, thank you too. Bye. See you. Arigato. Bye now. Thank you. That was nice. Okay. In the bag. We did it. That was good. Digital Monster. I don't know my mangas. I don't know my animes, but he said he loves anime music. That's great. I always see there's huge anime sections at the record stores in Japan. Well, not huge, but there's sections, and I always wonder who's shopping in them. So those are the guys who are shopping in them. And I told them that I have. Have you guys seen the movie Kimi no Nawa, My Name? I kind of went crazy for this J-pop band called Radwimps. They're quite, some of you might know them. They're pretty catchy. They're real sort of mainstreamy, but they had a couple of songs on this really touching, beautiful time slip. Not Miyazaki Ghibli studio move animation, but super great. Super, super cool. Here comes a cool looking band. We could maybe get these guys to talk about music. Wow, these guys look cool. This guy looks. Otsukaresama desu. They look like. Yeah, I'm not gonna like. You gotta have it's like half, like go for it and just like do it, and it's half like read the room, you know. Hey, you guys want to come say hi? Come say hi. Hi, who's this? Nani-chan? 名前は Noah-chan. Noah-chan は何 Poodle? Toy poodle?
Maybe.
Maybe it's your dog. Your dog? Your dog.
My friend's dog.
Your friend's dog. Okay. Nani-chan?
Noah-chan.
Noah-chan, Noah-chan. Oh, you're so nice, Noah-chan. Okay, okay. Noah-chan wa ongaku suki? Do you guys like music?
Maybe.
We're talking about music. Do you guys want to come talk about music? ちょっと音楽の話はどう?
So actually, I'm not familiar with it about the music.
You know, like, okay, not so familiar about music. How do you listen to music? Do you listen to Spotify, YouTube, CDs? How do you listen to music?
Just YouTube.
YouTube, okay. What's your name?
I'm Tosei.
Tosei, okay. Well, thank you for saying hi. ありがとうございます。Noah-chan, Noah-chan, bye-bye, bye-bye. Okay. ありがとうございます. See you guys. Okay. Some people are coming to say hi. It's getting to be kind of, yeah. Maybe they had a couple before they were getting ready to head back home. Okay, I see lots of hi-fi talk going in here. Do you know the mystery Kindaichi band? No, but I've seen this. Okay, from the 70s. I've seen it. I've seen this mystery Kindaichi band. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it before. Talk to the doggy. Yes, okay. Simple setup for me, says Gary Harris. Let's see. Just an Audio-Technica LP 120 turntable, a Sony receiver with Bose 201 speakers and a Yamaha SW315 subwoofer. Nice. That sounds pretty nice. I mean, you know, it's with cameras. Here's what I always tell people about cameras, because I've got a long history of working with all different kinds of cameras. People always ask me, like, what camera should I get? And to be honest, like, I never know. There's too many of them to keep up with. In fact, we're at a sort of watershed moment in the camera world because we can't make them any better. Like, they're as good as they're ever going to get, basically. And I always tell people, like, get the coolest looking one. Forget about specs. Just get the coolest looking one. That's the one that's going to inspire you to pick it up and to go use it. And I heard somebody say this about, yeah, it was basically, it's the same with hi-fi. I mean, I just like get what you like. Get what looks good, what feels cool, you know? I mean, yes, of course. And the law of diminishing returns on this stuff, you know, you pay a lot of money to get just a little bit more out of it. And I mean, even when I get to go to these places and get to experience, you know, like either my ears aren't good enough, my brain's processing is maybe not good enough, but I just don't hear it really. I mean, okay, yes, I get glimpses of it. I can be like, oh, okay, the drums are behind the stand-up bass. I can see it. It's okay, I get it. And oh, okay, I see what's going on. Oh, the crowd's behind me. That's intro. Oh, crazy. Okay, I get it. But everything else has to be quiet. I have to, like, you know, like concentrate. And, you know, it's like active listening, but in a way that's like, it's almost unenjoyable, almost, you know? I've heard people talk about how they cry, you know, hi-fi systems have made them cry. They've been so amazing, but I've never had that kind of experience before. I'm kind of a little bit of a DIY sort of, you know, bad news bears, wrong side of the track sort of hi-fi guy. Okay, I can't keep up with the comments, but we'll do our best here. Okay, I heavily sampled the Serial Experiment Latin anime on my first record. Okay, interesting. In the late 90s, says Stunty. Talking about anime records. Not super proud as I sampled stuff without a clue about the meaning of the words. Okay, well, that's still pretty cool. I was talking about, I hung out with Trevor from Flat, Round, and Spun today, who's in Puyallup, Washington, where Harry's Music Room is. I hung out with him online for a little bit today, and he talked about, we're talking about sampling a little bit, and I'd mentioned that I was listening to Bill in the Vinylverse's Japan vinyl tag entry, and one of the records was an early Herbie record from maybe 64, 68, I can't really remember what year it was, but it had the song Cantaloupe on it. And I heard it and I was like, whoa, I know this, what is this? And I kind of forgot I was listening to it. And I like went and looked at the record, and like, I don't know this record. And then I'm like, but I know this song. And like, it turns out it was like on that record that we all had, you know, that UC3 or CU3 or that record that had all those samples on it. That sort of Tribe Called Quest-ish record from the 90s. That was just like packed full of samples. Yeah, so the first time I heard Jane's Addiction do Sympathy for the Devil, I was like, oh, or the first time I heard the Stones, I once said, oh my God, the Rolling Stones are covering Jane's Addiction. That was a, foot and mouth moment I had. I've had a bunch of those. I've heard the other, the sample before I've heard the source. Let's see. Hi Tosei, says Ninja Cat Matt. Okay, 78 Pioneer amp, 4 3-inch Marantz cabinets. Jeez. Okay, quadraphonic baby, all the way. Well done. Okay. Never experienced. I've hacked. Like before I knew anything about amps. When it was just like buying shit from the Salvation Army, and it was like, ooh, there's a bigger one than the one I have. I brought speakers home and I doubled up, and I didn't know anything about what I was doing, but I did experience the wrong way of doing quadraphonic. It's an amazing album. Okay, which one are we talking about? I've lost the train of thought here. The Kindaichi band, the Mystery Kindaichi band. Okay, I'll check it out, Ed Topo. It's intrigued me. I've seen it a couple of times. Something to do with Japanese detective novel series. Okay, I will dig a little bit deeper. Brian, what do you think of Jean-Pierre Lafont? He may be my fave. I know, I've seen the name. Sorry, Stanti, I'm not that. Tell me more. Who? Jean-Pierre Lafont. Remind me who he is. I can't cheat. I can't, my phone's being used right now, so I can't be like, oh yeah, I definitely know who that is. With cameras, I use a Nikon D300. Dude, the best camera is the one in your hands, Use what you got. I really, truly do believe that. I really, really believe that. Don Tron, thank you for sticking around. So you've been here since the beginning. Recently, I've been getting into the guitarist Kazumi Watanabe. Yeah, I've been recommended him before, and there's a lot of I feel like the few 80s, early, I don't even know. If set late 70s to sort of early 90s, Japanese adult contemporary jazz music, and R&B-ish and sort of Sade-ish stuff with virtuosic musicians. I hear it, and I have to eat my words and be like, oh, this is good. Actually, I see why this is beloved. I see why this got made, even though it sounds like Muzak, initially to me. I just, on the first listen, it's just the tones are too glossy, and everything just has they say about photography, if you see the cars, you know what era you're in when you can see what cars are on the streets. A Holga camera, sometimes you can't see past the Holga lens, or the Petzl lens is another one, the Aero Ektar lens. Sometimes there's so much of character of the genre on the thing that you can't get past it to actually hear what's the real interest and the real depth of the thing. And sometimes I get caught up in the soundscape of that instrument, that era of instrumentation, and I can't hear the playing. And guilty as charged. I'm not that good at it. So, but I would like to level up. I would like to know my Japanese players, the real players that everybody knows. Let's see here. Lafont is one of the photographers. Okay, here we go. Foot in inches. What are we talking about? Okay, I remember hooking up with two positive terminals of. I remember hooking up the two positive terminals of the speakers and getting the surround channel. That was amazing. Yeah, I've hooked up speakers all silly kinds of ways, and twisted things together, and probably blew up amps. Jean-Pierre Lafont is one of the greatest photo reporters. Yeah, he covered the U.S. extensively since the mid-'60s, but not only, right? Okay, so I probably know his work, and you know, just there's too many to know. And when I go look him up, oh, this guy who took this, I knew him and forgot him and knew him and forgot him. And I thank you for introducing me again. I may even have a book. I have like a big giant coffee table book of his on my, I may have fallen so in love with him at one point and completely just evaporated from my mind. I'm just that person. The Mystery Kindaichi Band is one Vampire Disco Big Band Fusion. Wow, it's a one-off. Vampire Disco Big Band Fusion. Wow, at the top, but that sounds amazing. Vampiric. Sorry, vampire. Vampire disco sounds really interesting. Vampiric. What is vampiric? Like vampy? Vampy guitar tones, vampy amp sounds, vampy disco big band fusion. Whichever, whether it's, I wonder where vamp, the word vampire and vamping, are those words connected? My recliner is breaking down. Oh no, Ninja, come out. Like Bob James doing horror music. Okay. I have no idea about photographs. That's okay. I talk about photographs. We're talking about motorcycles sometimes. I just talk about whatever pops in my head, but it kind of like comes back to music. It often, I try to make it always come back to music. I have no affinity for vinyl. We're all welcome here. Yes, of course, by all means. There are many books of his, let's see, there are quite many books of his work indeed. Okay, Annie Leibovitz level, yes. But even at the Annie Leibovitz level, it's a little bit of a hoity-toity crowd. It's like, you don't know, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, I don't. But do you know about blah, 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 blah? No, I don't either. But I don't, not that I feel shame for not knowing, but it is that world. It's like, and I've been in it. I've been, and if I were fully, yeah, I'm scatterbrained. I'm too scatterbrained. If I had been deep and short, rather than shallow and wide, I could have, not being here on the streets of Shimokitazawa, broadcasting to you and just mixing it up, riffing for 2 hours. I would actually have something to show for. I have a lot of things to show for. I'm proud of the works that I've done, but I'm definitely shallow and wide. Basically, there's a few things I'm deep on, but I don't even go that deep on most of the stuff. I just kind of know a little bit about a lot. I don't think vinyl snobs really listen to music. I hear these people talk about like, oh, I listen to 50 records. I listen to so much music, and there's no way I can keep up with the amount of records that people claim to listen to. And I'm listening at like around the clock, and I think I call bullshit on a whole bunch of people who, like James Farley said, I don't think vinyl snobs really listen to music. I think a lot of this, there's a lot of positioning out here about, but there's also the real deal. There's a lot of real deal out here too, but I try. All I can do is be me and be my best. So we're at the end here, folks. I'm going to count those as two. I'm going to count those two people as two. And if I can get a third, I can actually call this like a success. Hello.
Hello.
You want to come talk about music? Yeah. Do you want to come talk about music?
Yeah.
Okay, are you listening to music right now?
Yeah.
We're streaming on YouTube. It's okay? Yeah, what's your name?
Kanako.
Kanako-san. And you're listening. We're talking about music and like records. You're listening. What are you listening to right now? Hirai Dai wa nanno, what is it? Sugoi daiyume, super yume. Okay, and it's J-pop, J-indie, donna kanji?
J-pop.
J-pop?
Hawaiian K.
Hawaiian K. Okay, nice. And nan desu to? How do you know? Dare o shoukai shimashita. How do you know? Nani-san? One more time? The artist. Hirai Dai. Just television とか、YouTube とか、なんで友達を紹介した？
友達から聞いた。
Okay. You learned from your friend. And so 今日は何するの? What are you doing tonight?
散歩、walking.
By yourself, just going for a walk?
トレーニング。
Training. これから終わった。
いや、今から。
Okay, she's going training. Okay, I'm trying my best to keep on screen here. And okay, you're leaving? Karita, you're going home? Okay, これからtraining. 1時間 1 hour, 2 hours? 1 hour? Okay, 頑張って。名前は何だ? Kanako. Okay, thank you, Kanako. See you. My memory, I like it. Sometimes the technique is like repeat back their name to them, right? I'm usually pretty good at it. I once gave like a little mini lecture about like releasing oneself from the obligation of remembering everybody's name, and rather try to remember one thing about them rather than their name. Where none of us are very good at remembering names, but it's kind of embarrassing when you meet somebody on the street and you say to them, "What's your name?" and they say Kaneko, and then you say, "What's your name again?" and they say Kaneko, and you're like, "Okay, I see you. Your name one more time, Kaneko." Like you can't remember it. Now that I've said it 3 or 4 times, I'll remember it. But sometimes it like you need to I need to do something so that I don't. And then Hirai was the artist. I think she said Hirai, famous J-pop singer. She was listening to him and she's going training. But she was a good sport. Kaneko-san. Thank you, Kaneko-san. Arigatou gozaimasu. I think I did it. I think technically I did it. We didn't get a single goddamn record, but we did talk to some people. That was fun. I did my best. Let's see here. Okay, a lot of comments. I think I gotta wrap this up, guys. Don't write too many more comments because I won't be able to get to them all. Wow. Okay. Santi says about Jean-Pierre Lafont. He had some of the most iconic pictures of MLK and Muhammad Ali. Oh, did he have like this one? Is that the one of his? Probably. If that's one of them, or is the one where he's standing over Sonny Liston? I don't remember who these guys' names are, but like, is that the one? I know who it is. I didn't really know what areas. Photographers is an interesting one because you kind of like, you know their work, but you don't often know their face. My friend Chantel Martin has a really interesting take. She says like, gone are the days where we have dark, brooding artists that are hiding behind, the first place you want to go when you learn about a new artist. Where do you want to go? Somebody drop it. What do you think? When you learn about a new artist and you go to their homepage, where's the first place you go? Works, merch, calendar. You know where it is. It's the About page. And when you go to photography About pages, you often are met with a wall of text, and there is no... Haha, the battery died. It's game over anyway. But that was fun, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, phone died. And it's time to sign up. But hey, look, there's some of you guys who stuck around, and I just packed it up. Thanks for being here, everybody. Stunty, Ninja Cat, 4D, Gary Harris, F Zappa 20, Don Tran, Fitz came by. Good to see you, Fitz. Hey, man, good to see you. Yeah, I know you guys are probably gone by now, but I'm just letting you know. Oh, I am going the right way, yeah. I tried to listen to something. Okay, a lot of nice comments here, guys. Appreciate it. James Farley, Ed Topo, Breakfast King of Loyola stopped by. Ninja Cat, I think I already said. Oh, I saw a nice comment here about Nikon FM from 4D. Oh, you guys are back. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try explaining film photography to a millennial. No, dude, they can explain it to you, man. They're all over the place now. They're using film more than, well, It's a loud little. Okay, guys. My trusty seed. Time to say goodbye. Deadhead sticker on a GB250. Check out my work today. New exhaust. All this. All myself. Okay, thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll see you on the next stream. Be good out there. Take care, Hirohito-san. See you on the next one. Yeah, I was here, Zeb. I came and went. But thanks for sticking around. Phone died, out of battery, so I'm connected to the charger now. I knew that was going to happen, but I didn't think like it would fire back up after I turned the phone off and turned it back on, but it did work. So anyway, I do appreciate it. Go hit like and subscribe and go do all that stuff. Appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. Arigatou gozaimasu. Bye.